Hi, welcome back for more Tale of Despereaux. So when we left off last time, Rescuro was still sticking to his plan. He was making Mig and the Princess P stay in the dungeon. He would not let them go. And Mig and Princess P were both sad because they missed their moms, so they had something in common. And Despereaux, he was being led through the dungeon by Botticelli, the very mean rat, and he was on his quest to save the princess, and he was trying to be brave, but that dungeon was so dark, and he was so scared, and just when he was, feeling like he had to give up, suddenly he saw light. And in the story that there's a lot, Katie Camillo is talking a lot about darkness and light and how there's darkness is like bad things, but light are like the stories, like especially the story that Despereaux read. Light is good. So we kind of were thinking when we left off last time that when Despereaux saw the light, that would be like a clue to us as readers that something good was going to happen. So let's see if something good is going to happen in this next chapter. The next chapter is chapter 50, and the title of the chapter is In Which the Princess Says His Name. What do you think is going to happen in this chapter? In which the princess says his name. Go ahead and make a prediction. Okay, let's see if that prediction comes true. Princess! Despereaux shouted. Princess! I have come to save you! So we were right. The light was the princess, and Botticelli finally led Despereaux to the princess. So he finally gets to see the princess on his quest. And he's going to try and save her. Do you think he can save her? Oh, let's see. The Princess P heard her name. She looked up. Despereaux, she whispered, and then she shouted it. Despereaux! Reader, nothing is sweeter in this sad world than the sound of someone you love calling your name. Nothing. Do you agree with that? Do you love it when you hear someone calling your name? Especially someone you love. For Despereaux, the sound was worth everything. His lost tail, his trip to the dungeon, and back out of it, and back into it again. He ran toward the princess, but Rescuro, baring his teeth, blocked the mouse's way. And the princess cried, "Oh, no, rat, please, don't hurt him. He is my friend." Mig said, "Don't worry, princess. I will save the micey." And she took the kitchen knife. Remember, she still had that knife, right? She aimed to cut off the rat's head, but she missed her mark. "Whoopsie," said Miggery Sow. That's the end of that chapter. It's a short chapter. What do you think what happened? She wanted to cut off his head. What do you think she cut off? Let's find out in the next chapter. This chapter is 51, and the title is called, What is That Smell? Now, in the last few chapters, we've been talking a lot about the smells, right? Remember the rats were calling out to Despereaux when he came back into the dungeon, and they were like, we smell mice blood, we smell your tears, we smell the soup on your breath. So what do you think in this chapter is the smell? Let's find out. Ow! Screamed Rescuro. He turned to look where his tail had been. And as he did, Despereaux drew his needle and placed the sharp tip of it right where the rat's heart should be. So what happened? What did Miggery Sow cut off of Rescuro? His tail. So now look at he and Despereaux have something else in common. They both like the light, and now they both don't have a tail. Miggery. "Don't move," said Despereaux. "I will kill you." And I'm going to show you, there's a picture here. Underneath the picture, there's a caption, and the caption says, "Don't move," said Despereaux. "It will kill you." And in the picture, he's using his needle that the Threadmaster gave him kind of as a sword. So take a look at that. Dum, 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 dum. What do you think is going to happen? Ha, ha, ha. Botticelli laughed from the sidelines. Remember, Botticelli's not, he's just watching what's happening right now. "Exactly." And he slapped his tail on the floor in approval. "Absolutely delightful. A mouse is going to kill a rat. Oh, all of this is much better than I anticipated. I love it when mice come into the dungeon." "Let me see," said all the other rats, pushing and shoving. "Stand back," Botticelli told them, still laughing. "Let the mouse do his work." Despereaux held the trembling needle against Roscuro's heart. The mouse knew that as a knight, like knight in shining armor, it was his duty to protect the princess. But would killing the rat really make the darkness go away? What's he thinking about? It kind of reminds me of two wrongs don't make a right, right? If someone does something mean to you, should you do something mean to them back again? That's not really the best way to handle the situation, right? Let's see what Despereaux decides to do. Despereaux bowed his head ever so slightly, and as he did, his whiskers brushed against the rat's nose. Roscuro sniffed. "What is that smell?" he asked. "Mousy blood!" shouted another rat. "Blood and bones!" shouted another. "You're smelling tears," said Botticelli. "Tears of thwarted love." Thwarted love means like something that you love but you can't have. "Exactly," said Roscuro, "and yet there's something else." He sniffed again, and the smell of soup crashed through his soul like a great wave, bringing with it the memory of light. The chandelier, the music, the laughter, everything. All the things that could never be available to him as a rat. Let's go back in time. Remember when he was hanging from that chandelier? And he loved everything. He loved the light and the sounds, and he loved the soup. It reminds him of that day, right? But he's thinking, oh, these are things that a rat can't have because a rat's not supposed to like the light. "Soup," moaned Roscuro, and then he began to cry. "Boo," said Botticelli. "Hiss," hissed the other rats. "Kill me," said Roscuro, and he fell down before Despereaux. "It will never work. All I wanted was some light. That is why I brought the princess here, really, just for some beauty, for some light of my own." "Please," said Botticelli, "do kill him. He's a miserable excuse for a rat." "No, Despereaux," said the princess. "Don't kill him." Despereaux lowered his needle. He turned and looked at the pea. "Boo!" shouted Botticelli again. "Kill him! Kill him! All this goodness is making me sick. I've lost my appetite." shouted Mig, waving her knife. "I'll kill him." "No, wait," said the princess. "Roscuro," she said to the rat, what do you think the Princess Pea is thinking?" She didn't want anybody to hurt Despereaux. You think she doesn't want anybody to hurt Roscuro? But think about what Roscuro did. He was the reason why her mom died, right? Huh. I wonder what's going to happen. "What?" he said. Roscuro said. Tears were falling out of his eyes and creeping down his whiskers and dripping into the dungeon floor. Then the princess took a deep breath and put a hand on her heart. I think, reader, that she was feeling the same thing that Despereaux had felt when he faced his father begging him for forgiveness. That is, P was aware suddenly of how fragile her heart was, how much darkness was inside of it, fighting always with the light. That means she had a lot of sadness in her heart. A lot of things were making her sad. And she was trying to see the good in everything, and she was trying to be happy, but there were an awful lot of things making her sad. She did not like the rat. She would never like the rat, but she knew what she must do to save her own heart. And so here are the words that the princess spoke to her enemy. She said, Roscuro, would you like some soup? The rat sniffed. Don't torment me, he said. I promise you, said the princess, that if you lead us out of here, I will get cook to make you some soup, and you can eat it in the banquet hall. Speaking of eating, shouted one of the rats, give us the mousie! Yeah, shouted another, hand over the mouse! Who would want him now, said Botticelli. The flavor of him will be ruined, all that forgiveness and goodness. Blech! I, for one, am leaving. Soup in the banquet hall? Roscuro asked the princess. Yes, said the pea. Really? Truly, I promise. Oh, said Mig. Soup is illegal. But soup is good, said Despereaux. Yes, said the pea, isn't it? And the princess bent down before the mouse. You are my knight, she said to him, with a shining needle, and I am so glad you found me. Let's go upstairs. Let's eat some soup. And reader, they did. What do you think? What do you think? Oh my goodness! It's not the end of the story yet, but oh my goodness! Do you think that the princess has empathy? She's caring about what the other people feel, and she knows that in her own heart, it's important to forgive someone who's made a mistake, right? She doesn't want to be mad at the rat. She does not. Maybe she won't like him, but she wants to. What would you rather feel? Would you rather feel all that darkness and anger and meanness towards the rat because of what he did, Roscuro? Or would she rather feel light and forgiveness and goodness and happiness? Right? That's how Despereaux felt about his dad when he forgave his dad. So do you think this act of the princess telling Roscuro, let's go upstairs and have some soup, do you think she's forgiving him? I think so too. And forgiveness can make that person feel happy, and it could make you feel happy too, right? There's just one more chapter left in the story. Come back tomorrow to find out how the tale of Despereaux ends.